The galaxy had rules. Ancient rules written in silence and fear. Do not dig too deep. Do not listen too long. Do not awaken what sleeps between stars. Every advanced species knew these laws, even if they pretended otherwise. The Galactic Concord existed to enforce them. A council of 12 ancient civilizations, older than most suns, ruling through diplomacy, intimidation, and selective extermination. Humans were not one of them. Humanity was young, loud, divided, violent in strange ways, curious to the point of stupidity. The Concord called them transients, a species that burned fast and collapsed faster. And so, when the anomaly appeared near the dead region known as the Grave Expanse, no one expected humans to be involved. But they were. The anomaly did not explode. It opened. A silent fracture tore through real space like a wound that refused to bleed. Sensors across 5 sectors screamed, then went blind. Stars dimmed. Quantum beacons desynced. Hyperlanes twisted into impossible curves. Something old had shifted. On the Concord capital world Valor Prime, the council chamber filled with unease. Massive alien forms floated, crawled, or hovered around the circular dais. Light bent strangely around some of them. Others radiated cold authority. High Arbiter Ssreth, an ancient serpent-like being, broke the silence. This signature, it matches forbidden records, it hissed. Preform epoch. Before language. Before light. A crystalline entity pulsed dark blue. The devourer that dreams, it chimed. The cosmic horror sealed outside causality. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. It cannot awaken, another counselor snapped. The seals were eternal. Saretha's eyes narrowed. Nothing is eternal. A projection appeared above the dais, a distorted region of space near the Grave Expanse. At its edge blinked dozens of crude, angular vessels. Human ships. Outdated designs. Hybrid alloys. Visible weapon mounts. Laughter echoed, harsh, clicking, metallic. The transients are scavenging forbidden space, sneered Overlord Kthal, warlord of the Dravic Dominion. They play with ghosts while empires rule. Exterminate them, another voice said calmly, before they break something they cannot survive. The vote passed in seconds. The Dravic fleet was dispatched. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute, staring at the anomaly. It felt wrong. Not dangerous. Not violent. Hungry. Space around it bent inward as if listening. Captain, said Commander Ishan Rao quietly, long-range scans are still incomplete. Our AI refuses to model it. Elena exhaled. Because it doesn't want to lie. The human expedition was not here by accident. For decades, human astronomers had noticed gaps in reality, tiny errors other species ignored. Humans did not ignore patterns. They chased them. Obsessively. The anomaly was the largest pattern yet. And beneath it, buried in gravity shadows, was an object older than the Milky Way. A prison. We were never meant to open it, Rao said. Elena nodded. No. But someone already has. Alarms blared. Multiple warp signatures. A sensor officer shouted. Dravic Dominion fleet incoming, heavy tonnage. Elena's jaw tightened. So the galaxy finally noticed us. Outside, space tore open as massive alien warships emerged. Spy tulls. Red energy veins. Weapons charged immediately. A transmission cut through all channels. Human vessels, boomed a guttural voice. You trespass in sacred void. Power down and be cleansed. Elena stepped forward and opened the channel. This is Captain Elena Ward of the United Nations Stellar Command, she said evenly. We are conducting a containment operation. Withdraw or you will compromise the anomaly. Silence. Then laughter. You think you contain ancient gods? The Dravic overlord mocked. You are insects arguing over fire. The Dravic fleet opened fire. Space ignited. Human ships scattered, moving unpredictably, burning engines beyond safety limits, using microjumps inside combat range. Dravic targeting systems struggled to track them. Adaptive evasion holding, Rao reported. But we can't win this fight. Elena knew that. They weren't meant to. Execute Protocol Black Veil, she ordered. Rao froze. That will. Wake it further, Elena finished. Yes. But it's already stirring. Deep within the anomaly something moved. Not awake, but aware. Dravic ships faltered as space itself shuddered. Hulls screamed under forces without vectors. Crews felt eyes upon their thoughts. The Overlord's voice returned, suddenly uncertain. What have you done? Elena whispered, barely audible. What we were built to do. The galaxy believed humans were reckless. It did not yet understand the truth. Humans were prepared. And the cosmic horror had just noticed them. The whisper did not travel through space. It traveled through thought. Across the battlefield, Dravik soldiers screamed as memories not their own flooded their minds, stars collapsing backward, civilizations devoured like sparks, time folding into knots. Some dropped dead. Others tore out neural implants begging for silence. Human crews felt it too, but differently. On the bridge of the UNS Resolute, every screen flickered with ghost images. The AI core stuttered, then stabilized. Commander Rao grabbed the console. Captain, it's broadcasting. Not sound. Concept. Elena Ward closed her eyes for a moment. The whisper brushed her thoughts like cold breath. You are loud, but unfinished. She opened her eyes sharply. It's not hostile, she said. Not yet. Behind them, the anomaly pulsed once, slow, vast, like a heartbeat older than stars. The Dravik fleet was in chaos. Several cruisers drifted powerless, their crews incapacitated. Others fired wildly, hitting nothing. One battleship turned its guns on its own escort, screaming incoherently over open comms. Overlord Kthal roared in fury and fear. All vessels fall back. This is no weapon, this is... The whisper deepened. Who broke the lock? Space twisted. A Dravik dreadnought folded in on itself, crushed by angles that should not exist. It vanished without explosion, simply removed. The surviving Dravik ships fled. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. On Valor Prime, the Concord Council erupted. This is human fault, shrieked a winged counselor. They weakened the seals. They didn't build the prison, countered the crystalline entity. Someone else tampered first. High Arbiter Ssareth uncoiled slowly. Enough. The greater truth is this. The chamber dimmed as ancient archives activated automatically. The horror recognizes humans. 1,000-year-old record surfaced, marked forbidden/Purisensioniore. A species designation appeared. Designation, Soul Origin Wardens. Status, regressed/memory sealed. The chamber fell silent. That's impossible, someone whispered. Humans are young. Teretha's voice was heavy. No. They are reset. Back at the anomaly, the human fleet regrouped. Damage reports poured in, but losses were minimal. Dravik technology had been powerful, but predictable. Human tactics were not. Elena stood before the holographic projection of the anomaly. Symbols crawled across it now, aligning with human mathematical constants. Rao stared. It's responding to our logic structures. Because we helped design them, Elena said quietly. She turned to the senior officers. It's time. Release Archive Echo. Several officers stiffened. That archive is classified beyond planetary authority, Rao warned. Elena met his gaze. So is extinction. He nodded and keyed the command. Deep within every human ship, locked systems awakened. Memory vaults older than recorded history opened. Not files but imprints. Across human space, dormant structures activated. Lunar facilities. Deep ocean vaults. Stations hidden inside brown dwarfs. Humanity remembered fragments. Not fully, but enough. The whisper returned, clearer now. You are smaller than before. Elena answered aloud, her voice steady. We chose to be. Silence stretched. What? Because last time, she said, we won, and became something worse. The horror paused. You imprisoned me. We helped, Elena corrected. With others who are now dust. The anomaly shifted, no longer pressing outward. They feared me. Yes. You understood me. We did, she said. And we understood ourselves. On Valor Prime, panic turned to dread. The humans are communicating, a counselor said. Directly. They cannot control it, another shouted. Ssareth watched the data streams in horror and awe. They are not controlling it, the Arbiter whispered. They are negotiating. The Dravik Overlord broadcast a desperate message to the Concord. The humans are insane. Kthal snarled. They are feeding it. Grant us sanction to annihilate Soul. The vote was swift. Authorization granted. A galaxy-spanning armada began to mobilize. They would end humanity, before the humans ended everything. On the Resolute, sensors detected the incoming fleets. Rao looked at Elena. We can't fight the Concord. Elena nodded slowly. We're not going to. She faced the anomaly again. You're waking up, she said. And the galaxy is afraid. They always were. They will attack us, Elena continued. And if they do, they will weaken the prison further. You seek alliance. I seek balance, she replied. Help us stop them, and we will finish what we started. The whisper coiled around her thoughts, heavy and ancient. You would chain yourselves again. Yes, Elena said without hesitation. If that's the price. A long pause. Then, very well, little wardens. The anomaly dimmed, not retreating but waiting. Rao exhaled shakily. Captain, what did we just agree to? Elena stared at the stars filling with hostile fleets. History, she said. Repeating itself, except this time. She allowed herself a grim smile. We remember how to win. The Concord fleets were enormous. Millions of ships, spanning hundreds of light years, moved with a precision honed over tens of millennia. For most civilizations, this was the final word in galactic warfare, a tidal wave of energy, firepower, and history itself. But humans did not panic. On Earth Command Station Alpha, Captain Elena Ward studied the incoming projections. Each fleet's formation, every hyperlane jump, each support vessel, it was all known. Humans had tracked Concord fleets for decades, learning, simulating, predicting. They think speed is the weapon, Elena said quietly. We'll show them patience is stronger. The trap is set. The human fleet had scattered. Not because they were weak, but because the Concord expected them to gather. Deep within the asteroid belt of Gamma Ophius 9, hidden repair stations hummed quietly, and human warships awaited orders. Long-range cloaking arrays rendered them invisible. Ancient quantum sensors, salvaged and modified from defunct alien wreckage, allowed humans to see everything while remaining unseen. Enemy approaching, Rao said, voice calm but tense. They're dividing into 3 battle groups. Elena nodded. Let them. Divide and overextend. The humans had studied alien psychology. Every species has a flaw. Overconfidence. Fear. Obsession with protocol. The Dravik in particular were arrogant. They had never faced humans before, and arrogance had a cost. First contact, explosive. As the first Concord ships jumped into human space, a strange phenomenon began. Microsingularities detonated along expected warp paths. Ships that attempted formation jumps emerged scattered across random coordinates. Some never emerged. Dravik Admiral Kthal screamed at his officers, "This is impossible. They cannot manipulate space." Yet they do, hissed his second-in-command. They anticipate everything. Humans didn't fire their main weapons yet. The true strike came as the Concord fleet struggled to form. Swarms of smaller, agile ships, armed with adaptive weaponry, sliced through supply lines. Hyperdrive scramblers forced enemy ships into collisions. Systems designed to withstand cosmic storms were fried by targeted electromagnetic pulses tuned to alien biology. The galaxy had never seen precision in chaos, not at this scale. Alien diplomacy fails. The Concord attempted diplomacy. Messages broadcast across human communications channels. Withdraw or face extermination. You are insignificant. Elena responded, calm and unwavering. We are aware of the consequences. Proceed if you choose. We will adapt. It was not defiance. It was a statement of fact. Humans had survived worse. And the cosmic horror they had awakened whispered guidance, teaching patterns and strategies beyond alien comprehension. Humans do not rush, the whisper said. They prepare. They calculate. They endure. A galaxy in shock. Every alien observer, every fleet commander, and every counselor in the Concord was stunned. Humans, supposedly weak, were predictably unpredictable. Dravik cruisers were immobilized by gravitational distortions they could not understand. Zytherian beam weapons overheated instantly when fired at adaptive human hulls. Aitari psychic units, experts in mind warfare, reported strange feedback. Humans anticipated their attacks before they thought of them. Overlord Kthal's voice trembled over open comms. What are they? They are human, a surviving lieutenant muttered. And they are something else. The turning point. The humans activated Project Black Veil, their apex weapon. Not a super laser. Not a planet killer. A series of stealth satellites, positioned across multiple star systems, synchronized in a single pulse. Quantum entanglement waves scrambled alien sensors. Hyperdrives failed. Subspace communication collapsed. Entire fleets became blind, deaf, and disoriented. Then the humans struck. Small fleets emerged from hidden positions. Their weapons didn't just destroy, they extracted strategic advantage. Shields were hacked. Engines inverted. Alien vessels were captured without firing a shot. The galaxy had never witnessed a force that destroyed without slaughter and killed without fire. Council in panic. Valor Prime erupted in chaos. Scareth uncoiled in disbelief. They are doing the impossible. The humans, said the crystalline entity, are not just responding, they are shaping the battlefield itself. You mean? Another counselor whispered. They are thinking ahead of time. Yes, the entity replied. The Soul Origin Wardens, remember. The council had underestimated humanity. Not just underestimated, but forgotten that humans were once among the galaxy's apex enforcers. Elena speaks to the enemy. Amid the carnage, Elena activated a comms channel to Cthal. This is Captain Elena Ward, she said evenly. Your fleets are scattered. Your officers are incapacitated. Your empire is weak. Leave our space and the cosmic horror you feared will remain contained. There was a long pause. Cthal's voice was ragged. You are still young. You cannot control what you have awakened. Elena smiled, sharp and cold. No, but we can survive it. And we can use it better than anyone else. The message reverberated across the fleet. Concord soldiers and alien diplomats alike paused. The unthinkable was now reality. Humans had become the galaxy's apex force. The whisper grows. The cosmic horror itself pulsed in resonance with human determination. They are ready, it whispered. They remember. They endure. For the first time in eons, the galaxy understood. The transients were not weak. The transients were the keystone. The anomaly, the cosmic horror, the Concord fleets. They all underestimated humanity's patience, cunning, and resilience. And the humans had not yet revealed their full power. The Concord had never faced a foe like humanity. Their fleets, masters of strategy and terror for millennia, were now fractured and blind. Entire sectors of space had become death traps for alien ships, manipulated by human forces who seemed to anticipate every move. Yet victory had not yet come. On Valor Prime, the Concord Council erupted into chaos. The High Arbiter Scareth floated before the shattered council chambers, eyes narrowing. They cannot be stopped by conventional means, Scareth admitted. Every advance we make, they counter before we even act. This is impossible, shrieked a counselor of the Zytherian hive. They are small, primitive, and reckless. Scareth's gaze was cold. They are not reckless. They are remembering. You forget they were once wardens. Before their memory was sealed. A betrayal within. While the Concord floundered, hidden forces moved. The Velari Syndicate, a secretive alien faction long opposed to the Concord, saw opportunity in chaos. Their leader, a shadowed figure named Orithel, convened a council of dissident fleets. The humans are stronger than we believed, Orithel said, voice resonating like chimes in a deep cavern. But their arrogance is their weakness. We will offer them guidance. And then claim the spoils. Orithel's plan was clear. Feign alliance with humanity, then betray them when the galaxy's eyes were elsewhere. In deep space, Velari emissaries activated stealth ships and navigated toward the human fleet. The human response. Captain Elena Ward received the transmissions from the Velari. Greetings, humans, Orithel's voice intoned. We can offer knowledge of the Concord's secrets. Together we can bring balance. Elena studied the data. Rao frowned. We can't trust them. Their fleets are as dangerous as Cthal's. Elena's lips pressed into a thin line. Then we'll use them. But carefully. The humans were not naive. They had survived the galaxy's most advanced forces by exploiting what others assumed were rules. Trust was a weapon, deception was armor. They sent a single ship to meet the Velari, a ship equipped with neural translators and adaptive countermeasures. The rest remained hidden. Battle for Gamma Ophius 9. While diplomacy unfolded, the Concord prepared a new assault. Fleets converged on Gamma Ophius 9, the hidden human stronghold. Hundreds of alien warships jumped into orbit. The planet, seemingly barren, suddenly transformed. Massive orbital shields emerged, formed from centuries of human engineering. Weapon platforms unfolded like mechanical flowers. Sensors detected artificial gravity wells creating deadly fields around alien ships, disorienting them. Captain, they're in position, Ra reported. They expect a frontal assault. Elena's eyes gleamed. Then we'll give them one, just not the one they imagined. Human ingenuity in action. The first wave of alien ships fired. Missiles streaked through space, beams lanced outward. Humans did not counter directly. Instead, they manipulated local gravitational fields and microsingularities, bending the attacks back into the enemy fleet. Ships collided with each other. Engines failed. Communications went dark. Then human boarding pods struck. Silent, agile, and invisible to alien sensors, soldiers infiltrated critical Concorde vessels. Their goal was not destruction, but control. Systems were hacked, alien crew neutralized without loss of life. Across multiple sectors, similar strikes unfolded. Human tactics combined strategy, technology, and psychological warfare. The galaxy began to see something unprecedented. Humanity did not just fight, they reshaped the battlefield. A cosmic twist. Meanwhile, the anomaly whispered once again. Its presence extended subtly into human minds, offering strategies that no human had conceived alone. Divide them. Exploit trust. Let fear guide their actions. Elena felt the guidance but did not blindly follow it. We use the advice, she said, but we decide the timing. Humans learned from the cosmic horror, not as slaves but as collaborators. Their intellect, combined with the horror's ancient perception, created tactics beyond alien imagination. Orthal's deception begins. The Velari emissaries arrived at Gamma Ophius 9, claiming to coordinate attacks against Cthal. Humans allowed them limited access, just enough to feed misinformation. Orthal, believing he controlled the flow, prepared to betray humanity at the decisive moment. He did not know humans had anticipated him. Elena had detected anomalies in Velari data streams, subtle, intentional discrepancies. Humans created a feedback loop. Any attempt at treachery would expose the Velari instantly. Rao leaned over her shoulder. They're walking into a trap. Elena smiled faintly. No, Rao. We are walking with them. They think they lead. We follow the steps they cannot see. The Concorde cracks. The Concorde meanwhile became increasingly desperate. Cthal attempted direct assault, focusing massive fleets on human orbital defenses. But the humans had already destabilized the hyperlane network around Gamma Ophius 9. Concorde ships jumped into chaos, appearing light years off course, often inside debris fields or gravitational distortions. The galaxy watched in disbelief as an empire considered invincible faltered against what they had called insects. Every failure fed fear. Every success by humans fed legend. And from the depths of the anomaly, the whisper pulsed in rhythm with human victory. They are not just wardens, they are architects. Parting thoughts. By the end of the conflict on Gamma Ophius 9, the humans had achieved the impossible. Alien fleets defeated or captured without total annihilation. The Velari traitors exposed before betrayal. Concorde intelligence shattered and confused. Cosmic horror aligned subtly with human strategy. The galaxy had begun to whisper. Humans are no longer transients. Humans are the axis upon which the cosmos turns. Yet Elena knew the true challenge had just begun. The Concorde would adapt. The horror would grow stronger. And the galaxy, now fully aware of humanity's potential, would do everything possible to contain them. But humans were ready. For they remembered. And humans never forgot. The Concorde had recovered, but too late. Across multiple sectors, human forces had entrenched themselves, fortified by both technology and the anomaly's subtle influence. Entire fleets that had once scorned humanity now approached with caution, hesitation, and fear. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute, staring at the holographic map of the battlefield. It glowed with hundreds of red and orange icons, Concorde ships, moving toward human positions. Yet the humans were calm. Predictable chaos, unpredictable advantage. Rao, scanning the incoming fleets, shook his head. They're committing everything. Every battle group. Every dreadnought. Elena's lips tightened. Good. That means they'll make mistakes we can exploit. The battle begins. The first assault wave struck in the Gamma Ophius corridor. Concorde dreadnoughts opened fire, lances of energy slicing toward human fleets. But humans had anticipated this. Gravitational distortions and quantum interference fields warped the beams before impact. Several dreadnoughts collided mid-space, creating massive explosions that blinded their own fleets. Enemy formation disrupted. Rao reported. They're falling into our kill zones. Elena gave the order. Deploy Strike Phalanx Alpha. Activate adaptive countermeasures. Begin precision strikes. Human ships emerged from hidden jump points. Not just ships but strategic drones, small, nearly invisible, capable of infiltrating and sabotaging alien vessels. Weapons fired not to destroy, but to disable, neutralize, and control. Within minutes, dozens of Concorde ships were captured intact. The galaxy had never witnessed warfare like this. Humans fighting efficiently, ruthlessly, but selectively, demonstrating restraint unmatched by any known species. The whisper guides. Deep within the anomaly, the cosmic horror pulsed and whispered. Humans did not obey blindly. They synthesized its ancient wisdom with instinct, intuition, and long-studied strategy. Divide them. Force hesitation. Let arrogance destroy them. Elena felt the guidance and relayed subtle commands to her fleet. Human pilots executed maneuvers that no Concord tactician could have predicted. Ships appeared where they were not, firing at angles impossible to anticipate, then vanished before retaliation could strike. Even Cthal, the Dravik overlord, began to show cracks of uncertainty. He barked orders, but his fleet struggled to respond. Every move seemed anticipated. Every advantage neutralized. They are evolving, Cthal muttered over comms. Faster than thought, stronger than predicted. Sacrifice and strategy. War is never without cost. In orbit around Gamma Ophius 9, the human flagship Resolute faced its first true danger. A Concord heavy cruiser, disguised in cloaking fields, struck with a massive graviton torpedo. The detonation ripped through space, creating microsingularities. Several smaller human vessels were lost. Bridges and hulls shuddered. Damage report. Elena shouted. Shields holding at 70%. Crew casualties are minimal, but we lost a frigate squadron, Rao replied. Elena clenched her fists. Their losses will multiply. Prepare counterstrike. Execute Protocol Apex. Protocol Apex was not a weapon, it was human ingenuity at scale. Satellite arrays across multiple systems activated simultaneously, creating interference fields that nullified Concord hyperdrive technology in the local region. Ships that tried to jump were trapped in space, easy prey for human boarding crews. Within hours, the tide had turned again. Concord fleets, now disoriented and trapped, began to surrender or retreat. The Alien Council reacts. On Valor Prime, the Concord Council was in panic. This is unprecedented, a winged counselor admitted. Their strategies, adaptive, anticipatory, it's as if they think faster than our combined intelligence. Yes, as Sereth said. Faster, yes. But also, they endure more. Every loss only sharpens them. Every challenge makes them stronger. The crystalline entity pulsed. They are perfect predators. Not because they are the strongest, but because they are the most resilient. And the galaxy began to whisper, in fear and awe, a name that had once been dismissed, humanity. A shocking twist. Just as the battle seemed won, Orithel of the Villari Syndicate struck. His fleet, once allied, launched a covert attack against human supply lines. Missiles streaked toward civilian transport and repair stations, aiming to cripple human endurance. Elena saw the attack coming. They've underestimated our vigilance, she said calmly. Prepare countermeasures. Target their cloaking arrays first. Humans countered with adaptive resonance pulses, exposing the Villari ships. Boarding teams swiftly neutralized the fleet. Orithel's betrayal failed before it truly began. This is why you don't gamble with humans, Elena muttered. The galaxy watches. Across the sectors, alien civilizations began to rethink their understanding of humanity. Transients? Primitive? No longer. Humans had proven. They could adapt instantly to impossible situations. They could exploit alien arrogance and overconfidence. They could fight with both cunning and compassion, showing restraint. They could harness forces that had once terrified the galaxy. The cosmic horror's whisper grew stronger, resonating through human minds. Yet humans remained in control, wielding the ancient knowledge with intention. They are ready to lead, it whispered. They are ready to shape destiny. Elena gazed at the stars, battered but unbowed. We've won this battle, she said. But the war is just beginning. The Concord will return, stronger, smarter, angrier. Rao nodded. Then we'll be ready. As always. Elena's eyes narrowed. Not just ready. They will learn what it means to face humanity at full strength. And across the galaxy, whispers of fear and awe began to spread. Humanity was no longer underestimated. Humanity was unstoppable. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath. Across the grave expanse, the anomaly pulsed stronger than ever, and humanity was at its center. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute, staring at the vast, writhing darkness that had once seemed like a threat. Now it was an ally, but one that demanded respect. The cosmic horror whispered through space, through minds, through logic itself. You are ready. Are you prepared to wield the void? Elena closed her eyes, feeling the presence, feeling the patterns of causality bending slightly in response to human thought. We don't wield it blindly, she whispered. We guide it. We contain it. And we survive it. Commander Rao, standing beside her, nodded. We've learned from centuries of war, from every mistake, every battle. We adapt faster than they do. Concord in crisis. The Concord Council had fractured completely. Cthal's Dravik fleets had retreated to regroup, but the damage was catastrophic. Hundreds of ships lost, systems destabilized, entire sectors effectively under human control. Other alien factions, previously obedient, hesitated or refused to act, fearing the humans' unpredictable strategy combined with the horror's subtle influence. This is madness, shouted a Zytherian counselor. They are not just attacking, they are restructuring reality to their advantage. Sisareth hissed in agreement. It is more than that. Humanity is no longer a species to control, it is a force. The human offensive. Elena activated the next stage of strategy, Project Eclipse Protocol. Unlike previous strikes, Eclipse did not rely on brute force. Instead, it combined human ingenuity, alien technology, and subtle manipulation of the anomaly. Hundreds of fleets, long-hidden orbital stations, and satellite networks across multiple systems synchronized in perfect harmony. Hyperlane corridors were manipulated to funnel enemy fleets directly into traps. Concord dreadnoughts found themselves unable to move, isolated in void pockets, while human ships approached from blind angles. Boarding crews infiltrated warships and disabled them from the inside, leaving alien crews stunned and powerless. In one stunning display, an entire Dravik armada disappeared from sensor logs, captured within microsingularities that humans controlled. The galaxy watched in awe. They are untouchable, Cthal muttered. The horror interfaces. At the heart of the anomaly, the cosmic horror pulsed stronger, waiting for humanity to act decisively. Elena, feeling its presence, took a bold step. Listen to me, she said aloud. We will not let you destroy the galaxy. But we will use your knowledge to survive, to protect, to win. You will not control us. You will work with us. For a moment, silence. Then the anomaly responded, not with violence but with resonance. Patterns of light and gravity bent around human ships, subtly enhancing shields, optimizing energy outputs, and predicting enemy movements before they occurred. Humans had become co-creators with a force older than time. The Concord's collapse. The combined effect was catastrophic for the Concorde. Fleets were trapped in interstellar corridors they could not navigate. Communications between alien sectors failed. Hyperdrives jammed, leaving massive dreadnoughts stranded. Alien leadership quarreled, unsure who still commanded. Even Cthal's rage could not restore order. His fleets were systematically dismantled by human strategy guided by ancient cosmic insight. On Valor Prime, the Council debated. Some wanted to surrender. Others wanted to retreat. But all feared what humans could do if fully unleashed. Asareth finally spoke. They are not merely fighting. They are rebuilding the galaxy in their own image of order and intelligence. And they will succeed. Emotional resonance. Even in the chaos, humans did not forget compassion. Captured alien soldiers were treated with care, not cruelty. Strategic strikes minimized civilian casualties where possible. Human ingenuity was combined with empathy, a concept alien civilizations had long abandoned. Rao observed a captured Dravik officer trembling before a human medic. Do they even understand what they've done? He asked. Elena replied, they understand restraint and reason. That is something no empire taught them. That is humanity's edge. A shocking alliance. The Velari Syndicate, previously treacherous, approached Elena again, but this time not in deceit. Orethal's voice was careful. You have bested us, Captain. We offer our allegiance. Not as masters but as partners. Elena considered the offer. We will accept aid, she said. But on human terms. Any betrayal, and you will be contained before you act. The Syndicate fleet joined human forces, bolstering them strategically. The galaxy saw humans as not only unstoppable in battle, but capable of forging alliances without coercion, another testament to their unique adaptability. Preparing for the final strike. The Concorde remained fractured but still dangerous. One final operation would determine the galaxy's future, the complete neutralization of Cthal's forces and the containment of rogue Concorde elements. Elena's voice echoed across the human fleet. Prepare for the final offensive. Not for glory but for survival. For the galaxy. And for humanity. The anomaly pulsed as if acknowledging her words. The cosmic horror, once feared, now worked with humanity. Together they would reshape the battlefield and the galaxy itself, in ways the Concorde had never imagined. They were ready. The galaxy had never faced a force like this before. And it would never forget it. The galaxy trembled in anticipation. Concord fleets, fractured and leaderless, had regrouped only partially. Cthal, humiliated and enraged, prepared his final assault. Every sector he could command became a fortress, every dreadnought primed for annihilation. Yet humanity was ready. Not just ready, they were unshakable. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute, gazing into the grave expanse where the cosmic horror pulsed, its power now resonating with human intellect. She felt it everywhere, in the subtle shifts of gravity, the rhythm of distant stars, the very pattern of causality bending to anticipation. "Rao," she said, voice steady, "today we finish this. Not with fear, not with anger, but with what humans do best: strategy, resilience, and courage." Rao nodded. "All systems green. Our allies are in position. The final strike is ready." The Concorde's last stand. The Concorde assembled their final fleet, a monstrous armada spanning hundreds of light years. Every veteran tactician, every seasoned warrior, every political operative worked in concert to crush humanity. But their arrogance persisted. They still underestimated the transients they had long dismissed. "Captain Cthal will throw everything at you," a holographic advisor warned. "It may cost everything to survive this." Elena's gaze was unwavering. "Then we survive, and we reshape what comes after." The battle begins. The first wave of Concorde dreadnoughts fired. Energy beams lanced across space, targeting human fleets. Missiles streaked toward orbital stations. The galaxy watched as humanity responded, not with brute force but with precision, foresight, and cunning. Microsingularities diverted energy blasts. Hyperdrive scramblers trapped enemy ships mid-jump. Human vessels maneuvered in ways that defied alien sensors, striking from impossible angles. Every strike was intentional, every movement calculated to minimize loss and maximize strategic advantage. And above all, the cosmic horror whispered, "Divide them. Let them falter. Exploit their pride." Humans followed its guidance, not blindly but with thought. Where the horror suggested, humanity decided. Every move was a symphony of intellect and instinct, turning the tide. Cthal's flagship, a massive spire of black alloy, attempted to escape the battlefield, but humans anticipated the maneuver. Boarding drones infiltrated the vessel, seizing control of its systems. Entire fleets were incapacitated without a single human life lost. The Concorde's morale shattered. Communications became erratic. Fleets turned on each other in confusion. Where once there had been fear of humans, now there was terror. "Humans," Cthal muttered, realizing too late, "they are unstoppable." Even the galaxy's oldest civilizations began to take note. Humans were not only fighters, they were architects of war, masters of adaptation, and shapers of destiny. Cosmic horror ascended. Within the grave expanse, the cosmic horror shifted in resonance with humanity. No longer a distant, incomprehensible entity, it now functioned as an extension of human intellect. Space itself bent subtly around human fleets, gravitational anomalies favored them, and alien sensors failed where human minds thrived. "You have earned this," it whispered to Elena. "You have remembered. You have endured. You are worthy." Elena responded aloud, her voice carrying across the fleet. "We do not claim dominance lightly. We do not seek to destroy. But we will protect what we are, and what the galaxy must become." The cosmic horror pulsed again. Stars shifted. Dreadnoughts fell silent. Entire sectors were reshaped by its subtle power, guided by human decision. The Concorde collapses. Cthal's fleets collapsed under coordinated human action. Leadership structures dissolved. Dozens of alien civilizations surrendered rather than face annihilation. The Concorde's legendary control, spanning millennia, evaporated. On Valor Prime, the Council convoked one last time. Ssareth floated silently, crystalline form dimmed. "It is done. Humanity is no longer a transient. It is Apex." The galaxy's most feared species, Cthal's Dravik, the Zytherians, the Aitari, and others, had been humbled. Some wept. Some bowed. Some fled. And all understood a new law: humans would decide the future of the galaxy. Resolution and legacy. With the Concorde neutralized, humanity consolidated control not through tyranny, but through alliance, diplomacy, and demonstration of their unrivaled ingenuity. Systems devastated by the war were rebuilt with human technology. Strategic alliances, once forced through coercion, were now voluntary, founded on respect and recognition. The cosmic horror receded, but its presence remained a quiet guardian, a reminder of the forces humans had mastered without succumbing to them. Humanity had survived the unimaginable, and had turned the impossible into reality. Elena stood once more on the bridge of the Resolute, looking at a galaxy forever changed. Rao beside her said softly, "We've done it. All of it." Elena smiled, faint but resolute. "Yes. But this is only the beginning. We are humans. And humans never forget, never yield, and never stop shaping their destiny." Across the stars, whispers spread. The galaxy no longer underestimated humanity. They were not just survivors. They were wardens of reality, masters of strategy, and the apex species of the cosmos. Epilogue: A New Dawn. Centuries from now, civilizations would tell stories of the human ascension. Of how a young, underestimated species faced cosmic horrors and ancient empires, and triumphed. How ingenuity, resilience, and moral resolve had reshaped the galaxy. And in the dark spaces between stars, a subtle pulse reminded humanity they had awakened powers older than time, and they were ready to guide the galaxy into a new era. The universe had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans are unstoppable. Humans are supreme. Humans endure.